Crazies, man. What is doing, you nuts? And yes, you're in the lab. Lee here. Y'all saw that title too as well. We are talking about 8 new more Mandela effects to blow your mind. That is right. 8 new more Mandela effects to make you boggle questions reality that we reside in every single day of our lives of eternity. Oh man, I love the Mandela effects. I love how this year is going so far. So many big ones are starting to pop up. A lot more people are waking up. So this is going to be an awesome year so far. But before we get this whole Mandela effect thing going, please remember that some of these Mandela effects might not be new to you. They will be new to somebody else. So please respect that. Also, if you enjoyed this at any time, remember to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe. Let's mess with this algorithm, as well as leave me your comments down below so we can talk about these Mandela effects and others you will love to discuss on this channel. So without further ado, let's get this moving, let's get this going. And I'm actually going to start off with one of the community polls we did. Yes, and I'm actually going to start off with the microwave. That is correct. I took a poll from the community asking people, are you allowed to put metal in a microwave? As you sit there and you think that, and you look at this little nice how the survey came out, 9% said yes, you can put metal in the microwave, but 91% said no. And I'm just with you too as well. I remember growing up that you could not put metal in a microwave. Didn't matter if it was a fork, tin foil, even these bowls back in the day had these little gold and silver things on it, and they would spark up in this microwave too as well. But if you are just like me, growing up knowing that you couldn't put anything metal, metallic, or anything in the microwave or it would spark, well, guess what? You're completely, totally wrong, because apparently you could always put metal or tinfoil or anything in there in the microwave. That is correct. Look at this. Look at this. It says that you are allowed to. It's not suggested, but you are allowed to. Even if you put tinfoil on something in the microwave, it will actually heat it up evenly. It is blowing my mind because I don't ever remember that. But I have some videos here for you to watch, so look, enjoy. Now, you saw a video how I remembered. I even remember sparks in the freaking microwave if you put anything kind of metal in it. Not even, it was like a little teeny piece. Like somebody said you couldn't even put a Wendy's wrapper in the microwave. It would start sparking and smoking. It is blowing my mind. But apparently not. You cannot do it. You see me right here put a fork in the microwave and it doesn't spark at all. Well, is this a Mandela effect? Are we flipped realities? Is it product of new technology, better technology? Or is this really a Mandela effect? Do you remember always being able to put silver metallic stuff in a microwave? Or are you like me and many of us, like, please don't you ever do that. You blow your freaking microwave up.
Take it easy. What the scallop? I'm a goofy goober!
Oh, I love SpongeBob SquarePants. I love being a goober, a goobity goober. I love it all. And we are talking about that famous guitar, the famous guitar that SpongeBob plays to release everybody from their helmets, to get their minds back from the chum bucket, to go in there and celebrate and go with the Krusty Krab because he's a goobly goobler. And you're picturing that guitar in your head right now, aren't you? Picture it, aren't you? Yeah. I'm throwing a picture up there for you right there. That is how I remember the guitar, right? The white guitar with the V on it, the V-neck. Oh, it's so memorable. It's just what a classic, great acoustics, electric guitar would be back, especially kind of in that feel of the 80s, 90s hairband rocks. But in this reality, it never was that kind of V-shaped white guitar. It was always this good old peanut. Yeah, the peanut guitar, the peanut goobly goober guitar. It blows my mind because it destroys me. I don't ever remember it being the peanut guitar. I guess I do now because it's this reality, but I always remember that guitar having that V shape, that V white, that I remember that clear as day. But how do you remember that? Do you always remember the freaking peanut guitar like it is now when he's doing the goobly gooblers? Ow! Or are you like me? And many of us remember the axe being white and that V-shaped guitar.
What do you expect? These yokels are pure Baltic Avenue. Uh-oh, I'm late for the Short Line Railroad.
Oh, that is right. We are talking about Monopoly, and we are talking about the great old mascot, good old Mr. Moneybags, Pennybags himself. As you hear me say both those names, is because there's two names to this. There's two names to this. I remember both, and it hit me the other day when I was watching a YouTube video. I believe it was All Time or maybe TBB, and it blew my mind to hear that his name was Pennybags instead of Moneybags. And I remember doing some of this Mandela stuff research about Monopoly a couple months ago, and I even questioned myself with the name too. I think I might even fumble the name in that video. And I was saying to myself, it was Moneybags, Rich Uncle Moneybags, but it's always been Rich Uncle Pennybags. And it blows me away because I was saying money for goodness how long I could think of until I had to actually look this up, and it was Pennybags. And then I saw the freaking All Time do his freaking Mandela Effect with this, and it blew my mind away because I was like, that's why I was questioning myself. So actually, I'm asking you, how do you remember middle rich money Pennybags or Moneybags? How do you remember? Which name was it? Was it Moneybags for you, or was it Pennybags? Answer that for me.
Is there anyone out there who still isn't clear about what doing drugs does? Okay, last time.
That is right. We are talking about This Is Your Brain. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions? That is correct. That is correct. Oh, the great drug commercial of the 80s. Everybody remembers this from my generation. And the phrase that I just said, this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions? Well, take a look at this.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions? Yeah, you heard it. You heard it. This is drugs. This does not ring a bell to me. He never said that. He never said that in that. He always said, this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions? Never, this is your brain, this is drugs. I've never, ever, ever remembered that. It is blowing my mind. And if you even go into like the newer commercials of this whole thing, it's not even that. It's, this is your brain. This is heroin. And then she breaks up everything up in the world. But how do you remember this? Do you always remember this is your brain? This is your brain on drugs? Any questions? Or do you remember this is your brain? This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Thundercats! Ho!
Thundercats! Ho! Yes, we are talking about Thundercats, and we're actually talking about the intro of this whole cartoon. And there's a scene or a part in this scene, or in the intro, where you see the symbol, the Thundercat symbol, the logo, and it blinks and blinks out of his eyes, and it goes into what it is. Well, it is brought to my attention that it doesn't do that anymore. As you're watching the intro, as you see right now, you're watching it all, it's going through, you're seeing the sword, it all changes, the eye gets all this power and all this stuff. And coming towards the end of this intro, there's a part where it comes up and it shows Thundercats, and it shows the cat symbol, and it's supposed to shine out of his eye, but it doesn't shine out of his eye anymore. Nothing comes out of that eye at the end of the intro. It's just like a glare right over it. It's so weird. And I always remember that spark out of his eye, like it was like you see it, like the raw eye, and it's not there. It blows my mind, and I'm wondering, just like Super brought this up, is that normal? Is that the original way it is? It always has been, with not even blinking, the shine coming out of his eye? Or are we both, and all of us, whoever's thinking this, remember that shine, the brightness, the blinking out the eyes at the end of that intro? Because it was just, it got you captivated in what it was. Let me know down below. From the land down under. Oh yeah, we're coming from the land down under. Yes, we're talking about Australia. We're talking about the survey we took. As I throw this up as here, I asked everybody, what is the capital of Australia? As you see the percentage right there, was a 58% of you chose Sydney. 42% chose Canterbury. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you are like me and you chose Sydney, Australia to be the capital of Australia, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You are completely wrong. You are wrong. You're wrong. That is right. You're wrong. Breaks your heart to hurt yourself. Hurt myself thinking about it too. This blows my mind. Sydney is not the capital of Australia at all. It is Canterbury. Yes, that is correct. It is Canterbury of Australia is the capital of Australia. That is right. Territory's capital is Canterbury. My reality, my history, my life, this 41 years of spectacular life that I've lived on this earth, has always learned, just like many of us have learned, that Sydney, Australia. Sydney is the capital of Australia. And I was talking to somebody about this, and I was remembering Dory and Finding Nemo saying, "Ooh, Sydney, capital of Australia." But she never says that neither in there, which is kind of crazy because I looked it up. She doesn't say it at all. Blows my mind. So to you out there, is that right? Is Sydney the capital of Australia? Or is it what it is now in this reality? How's it always been? Canterbury being the freaking capital of Australia.
Be strong. Be afraid.
I'm gonna get that darn cat. Oh man, we are talking about Elf. Yes, Elf always chasing the cat, always getting into something, even the giant cockroach that was trying to kill him. But we are talking about Elf himself and the tail. Yes, Alf and his tail. How many people remember Alf having a tail? As I'll show you a picture right here for you. Yeah, Alf with a tail. Alf with a tail, that is correct. But it has come to my mind that Elf really never had a tail. I think it's kind of weird because there's not many times that you do see Elf with his, back turned to everything, where you can see his bottom half, his legs and everything. It's very rare. But the pictures do show that he has a tail. I don't remember the tail. I feel like it's just like Slimer. They put a tail on Slimer. Now they had to put a tail on freaking Alf. And it blows me away because there's a tail. There's a tail as day. Tail as day. And it blows me away. And I was trying to find some, residue of him not having a tail, or pictures of not having a tail, or a video. And you can't even find basically a backside of Alf. I know that sounds so crazy, but how do you remember Alf? Has Alf always had a tail like in this reality? Or are you like me and many of us in this reality, remember the old reality when Alf never had a tail? Yes, that is right. We are talking about Diddy Kong. That is correct. Diddy Kong, Diddy Kong, Diddy Kong. And Diddy Kong Quest. That is right. Diddy Kong Quest. Well, it never was called Diddy Kong's Quest. That is right. Diddy Kong's Quest is now Diddy's Kong Quest. That is right. Diddy's with the apostrophe S on it. That is weird, ain't it? Kind of crazy, huh? You know how the Mandela Effect works. It likes to take S's, likes to put S's on things. And once again, it has put the S on Diddy. Diddy's Donkey Kong quest. It blows my mind because I always remember it being Diddy Kong, as you see right there. Diddy Kong quest. But it's not. It's always been Diddy's Kong's quest, and it blows me away. It draws me crazy, and I don't know how to think about this one. It does blow my mind. How do you remember Diddy Kong? Was it Diddy's Kong with that apostrophe S? Or was it Diddy Kong without that apostrophe S? It blows my mind. That's how much it blows my mind. I can't even say Kong right. Let me know down. And that is right. We're going back into SpongeBob SquarePants. That is correct. And we're talking about Krusty Towers. That is correct. Krusty's Towers. Yeah. We all remember the episode when Mr. Krabs decided he wanted to double up his interests and open up a hotel and a restaurant all at the same time. And he said, I could double it up and make me a Krusty Towers, right? And he decided to build 2 towers and 2 Krusties, right? Oh, that is correct. You're thinking, yeah, Lee, that's right. Krusty Towers, plural. That's what towers means, times 2. Well, as you see this right here, this is the episode of Krusty Towers, and you see just one tower. One tower. Where's the other tower at? Many of us remember 2 towers. That is correct. 2 towers, just like the Twin Towers, just like other towers. Maybe this is a subliminal message about the towers, if you could jump into it. But yet, a lot of us remember 2 towers, 2 Krusty Towers. Why would you call it Krusty Towers, the episodes, and towers, if you don't have more than 1 tower? How does that make sense, right? I mean, that doesn't make no sense. It should just be called Krusty Tower. The Krusty Tower. But it's the Krusty Towers. That's right, times 2. But how do you remember Krusty Towers? Have there always been just 1 tower, making it just Krusty's Tower in the whole episode, in your whole entire life? Or are you like me, just like the name says, and it always will be, because you always remember there was 2 of the Krusty Towers? Oh, what another round of 8 new Mandela Effects with a couple extras in there for you from the surveys. I appreciate everybody's freaking contributions that you did, taking a survey, giving me your 2 cents, because without your cents, without any of the cents, 2, 3, 1, or all, I can do none of this without you. That is the truth. Oh, man, so give yourselves a pat on the back. Also, remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and leave me your comments down below about these Mandela Effects and others you would love to discuss on further Mandela Effect videos. With that said, you already know, man, I'm Lee, you're crazy. Y'all remember to keep your mind open, because those eyes will definitely see everything in front of you. Y'all stay crazy.
You gave us something we never thought we could have.
And what is that?
Another chance.
I think I heard a shot. I think I heard a shot.